you've been in the hobby, it's most likely happened to you already, and if it didn't, well, it probably will happen to you someday. So I'm going to show you how to save your precious electronics when you fall into water. This is the typical piece of electronic you've waited forever to get, and that is out of stock everywhere now, and you don't want to lose it, so you need to save it somehow. I'm going to show you how. This is the HDzero 1W VTX. I'm going through this procedure with that, but it should work with all of your electronic components. So let's see that. As fast as possible, you turn off everything. You take the battery out. So you've just picked up your quad from dirty or salty water. The first thing you want to do is rinse off the salt and the dirt. So do that with tap water as soon as you can. It will let you the time to cool down, find out what you need, and do the next steps. We think water is bad for electronics, but actually minerals and mostly salt are bad for electronics. Tap water is not that bad, and distillated water is actually an isolant. Then you put everything to dry in a cloth bag with ice or something like that to prevent a maximum corrosion. When you're ready, you just disassemble everything. That's the first step, and we're going now to save this the best we can. We're disassembling so we can remove the salt, the dirt, and any teeny drop of water that could be stuck between the dissipator and the PCB. So you can see the thermal paste on those components and on those ones. This is important because I'm going to put some thermal paste back after that. So what I'm going now to do is clean that thermal paste. Later, when you're going to put back the thermal paste, you can go back to this point in the video and just look well where it is so you don't miss anything. We've cleaned off all what we can, so now we're going to use something to clean more deeply the PCB, like to remove whatever dirt and whatever minerals, even still humidity that can be stuck in teeny gaps between components or between the pins of the main components. You can use actually a lot of things to do that. The most common is rubbing alcohol. You want it to be less diluted as possible. The best is 100% alcohol. You can also use some special purpose products like PCB cleaners. I have one from WD. A toothbrush with medium flex will be your best tool to clean the teeny gaps between components and between all the pins of the chips. So don't worry, use it. You won't most likely won't take anything out of the board, so just do that until it's clean. You can go back to putting alcohol. Just clean everything well. Alcohol has the property of evaporating super quick, so this seems humid, but actually it's going to remove humidity. That's why we're using alcohol or something like that. Before you move to next step, you want to all of the product to evaporate, so you can use some dry cloth. Just be careful not to use something that will let chips inside of your board. Also, you can use compressed air to help cleaning, but be careful to pick one that doesn't let condensation or impurities on the board. You can try on an angle or something else just to see if it lets something. Do it well, take your time. You're trying to save some expensive electronics, so do it again if you need it. It's all fine. You still need to clean the heatsink itself, but then that's it, we've cleaned everything. So just do the same, clean everything, make it shiny and well. And now we're going to proceed to put back the thermal paste and reassemble everything. The thermal paste, where it was, this is regular computer thermal paste, the one you could use for your CPU. Most of thermal paste and neat component you're going to find for CPU usage will be not conductive, but double check before you do it. The trick is you don't want to let bubbles to prevent the heat to escape. So you need to cover the surfaces you want to cool with the component and letting an exceedant over it. So after that, when you put the heatsink, it will flush all of the thermal paste without scraping the paste from the chips. In the opposite, it will smooth down everything more tightly. As you checked, it's a non-conductive thermal paste. You don't need to worry for it to touch the other components on, but you want to be sure it's not going to conduct the heat to a place it doesn't need to. Okay, so now we put the heatsink back on. You need to do it in one go, because once it touches the paste, you don't want to remove it, or else it will create bubbles. So just put it gently in place, and then you can press it firmly. You can drag it a bit on the PCB, but don't remove it once you've put it. Same thing for the other side. Pay attention that here you want to connect with the thermal paste, the chip, to the dissipator pad as it was. Same thing, be sure you put the dissipator in the good position, and that's it. and that should be it. Actually, we've done all what we were able to do, and it should work perfectly after that. Actually, I will talk about that in another video, but I think to replace the heat pass actually helped a lot. Like, I'm getting better performances now. Before that, the VTX at full power was still building heat, even while flying, and now it's behaving a lot much better. So hit the subscribe button. That will help me develop this channel and bring you more interesting content. And more important, have fun.